4 federal prison inmates have escaped. There is a manhunt underway right now. What's going to happen? Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. That's the idea you get if you read the headlines, if you saw the pictures, if you've heard the story. Let me fill you in on some of the details. 4 federal prison inmates have escaped from a federal prison camp at Petersburg. Okay, if you've been to federal prison or if you're familiar with the federal prison system, you'll know why I'm reacting this way when I said Petersburg or the Petersburg Low, the Petersburg camp. It's a camp. The picture that they're showing, like I read the New York Post, they had a picture. I'll put that picture up. The picture that they're showing is not the picture of the camp. Federal prison camps are the lowest, one of the lowest security prison institutions. The halfway houses, community correction centers are considered the lowest. Although I was just realizing that it's actually easier to walk away from a camp undetected than it is to walk away from a community correction center, a halfway house. Because a halfway house, they tend to have somebody manning the door and they'll see you leaving. With the camps, if you pick the right time, you can literally walk off of the camp, and then your objective is to get back before they notice you're missing. Because it's not like it's a big area, not even a fence. You can just literally walk away. And it's funny because one of the stories that cover this says, yeah, they walked away. Prison officials have not revealed how they escaped. They did. When they said they walked away, they literally walked away. You see, people are like, well, how's that? How will they let them walk away? A prison with no fences? You see, in order to get to a camp, you have to be at a minimum security. There's a rating system that determines what level institution you're going to be at, whether it's a max, a super max, a medium, or a camp. To be at a camp, your points are going to be low enough that you can be placed in a camp. There's a whole bunch of different factors that account to whether or not you can go to a camp. And oftentimes, people that are in camps are nearing their release date. Their description of them is like, oh, one guy's doing 18 years, one guy's doing 16 years, one guy's doing 10 years. Okay, yes, that may be their original sentences. They didn't just get their sentences. Like they're on the back ends of their sentences. So the guy with the most amount of time remaining has a projected release date right now, before this, of 2030. And that's without all of the good time calculated. The other guy, one of the other guys, his projected release date was in 2027. Remember, it's 2022. One of the other guys has a projected release date of 2028. And then the last guy had a projected release date of 2025. They're approaching their release dates. They're closer to the end of their sentences. So the characterizations of, oh, he's doing 18 years, he's doing 16 years. Please stop. How much time does he have left? However, with this incident happening, it's not going to look good for the amount of time they have left, because clearly now they can be hit, and they will most likely be hit with escape charges, with actual separate charges, once the press has gotten wind of it. So that's the unfortunate thing for them. The unfortunate thing for everybody else is that people who don't seem to realize how the prison system works are, oh, this is a catastrophe. So let me explain it again, because I think I may have left some points out. You see, when you're in a prison camp, one of the benefits, one of the perks of being in a prison camp, one of the unofficial perks is the very lax security. But, you don't want to screw it up. So the objective is, if you want to take advantage of that lax security and the ability that they're like, okay, listen, you're basically staying here on the honor system. If you violate that, you're not going to be in a camp ever again, and you're going to deal with some consequences. But the perk is, imagine being in prison, and when nobody's looking, you can slip off, get some, and get back to the prison. That's a nice perk, right? Okay. If your girl doesn't live too far away from the prison, or you have a spot where you're going to meet her, boom, you slip away late night right after the count, slip away, go get some good eats, some quality time, and hurry up and head back. It's like you're not even in. It's like you're in part-time, and you get to, be out part-time. But the objective is, make sure you get back to the camp before they realize you're missing. So to do that, you got to make sure of a couple of things. You got to make sure you know who's working. Because if you got somebody that's high strung, and every 5 minutes they're got the flashlight, looking, pulling back the covers. It's going to be a problem. But if you know what you're doing, if you know your routine, you can get out, get back before anybody notices you're gone, and you're good. Unfortunately, sometimes guys don't make it back in time. Sometimes, for whatever reason, guys miscalculate. And if they're caught coming back, like if a count's being conducted and they're caught while the count is on, they're still going to get charged with an escape inside. So they may not be charged with a separate criminal case of escape, but they'll still get hit with the internal discipline program, according to the inmate discipline program, with a 100 series shot. That will be the escape charge, which means, boom, they'll get sent to SHU. That's 23 in one lockdown, 20-hour in one lockdown. They'll be kicked out of the camp, and they'll likely never go back to a camp again either, because once you get hit with escape, okay, yeah, we're not letting you back into the camp. But in this case, unfortunately, these guys didn't make it back in time, and the press has wind of it. So it's very likely that they're, in addition to getting hit with shots, which is what, the prison disciplinary thing is called. When you get hit with an infraction, it's called a shot. They're most likely going to be hit with separate charges. And that's what really sucks, because now the release dates that I just told you are going to change, unfortunately. I don't know what happened, why they weren't able to make it back in time. Because even if you're running late, you just still go back. You don't just keep going. If you're running late and you're like, oh man, we took too long to get back, you go back and take it. Because now if you run and they got to come find you, a lot more things can go wrong. So I think my personal assessment is this is being blown out of proportion. I'm not even sure why escape from a camp, because it really is just a walk away. It's literally just walking away. You're just like, you're not climbing over a fence, burrowing under the jet. No, it's not that. You're just walking away. You're literally walking away. That's it. Yeah. So I don't know, but my assessment is that the press, all of this is going to make it a little bit bad for everybody else, because once the prison is embarrassed, or even the BOP is embarrassed, then they start doing a whole lot of extra stuff to start making examples out of people and to clear up their public relations, their image. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you next time.